Good sound. I know we're about. You all right? All right, we're on time. Whenever you're ready, Coach.
Again, in the game Saturday, very proud of our team as far as how we were able to persevere, find ways to overcome some things that weren't going as well. Some things were going very well, but as a team, you have to do that. You have to play. It doesn't matter how one side plays, it matters how they all intertwine and stay together to get the ultimate goal in which you want to get to, which we know there's a lot of things we got to get fixed, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But also there's some really, really good things in the game. First of all, the competitive nature of the team, learning to play the next play, no matter what the circumstances, keep overcoming what was in front of you, and never give up until the final whistle goes off and play hard. And I think we did do that. I thought the game was a very physical football game. I thought they were very physical. At times I thought we need to be more physical in certain areas and certain things we have to do, and we'll learn that. It's part of growing. But at the same time, I thought we were physical, and I said we kept raising our standard of play and did some really good things. I thought the defense was outstanding in the game. I thought early in the game they had a drive. They got to one good drive. We lost contain a couple times on some things with some we had some busts as far as not getting to the edges and getting things sealed up, and they got a drive. They had another drive down there. We were able to stop them, get 2 negative plays, and they missed a field goal, fortunately. Then we had another drive. They were 3rd and 2, I think, on the 6, and had a 4th and inches or so, a 4th and a half a yard, and we were able to get that stopped. And they never got any points. And we were able to come back and get a drive and get points at the half. We struggled on offense the first half, and it was just a matter of things. The first in the beginning, we'll talk about Haynes in a minute. First drive, I wish he would have kept it and ran it right there, but he had a chance to make a play. They dropped 8, which is tough. They dropped 8 and took an extra dropper, and he made the right decision to pull it out of there because they doubled the 2 inside guys. And then the next one, we had a great play. We make a block, he's out the gate, and we're running down the sideline. Unfortunately, we had the injury, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But and then we just got lost. Then we took turns. It was a tackle, a guard, a quarterback, a receiver, a back. Everybody takes turns, and that's the thing on offense. You only average about 11 possessions a game. Now, this one we got more because of our defense was getting 3 and outs. But all of a sudden, if every guy takes a turn, I've had it happen, man. When you grade guys, grade 70, 80% in a game, play good, but they had one critical mistake in a drive, it cost you a drive, and all of a sudden 6 drives are going. And that's the thing on offense. You got to make sure you can't have that, or you got to have the big plays sometimes to overcome that. We weren't getting either one of those, so we had to get that fixed. But our defense was outstanding. Second half, I think, gave up 54 yards, I think. 1 or 2 first downs.
2.
I mean, it was something outstanding, and just kept raising the bar, and then coming over, being encouraging to the offense, not being, hey, come on, get your stay. Just keep doing it. We'll keep playing. Just keep going. And then offensively, we struggled, banged around, come out, had a couple things here and there, even in the second half. But then you had a 10-play drive, a 13-play drive, and an 11-play drive. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not addressing the issues beforehand. A lot of things we got to get fixed. More physical, technical, in all areas, and we got to coach better. That at the end of the day, talk about execution of players, that's coaching too. That's coaching that we got to put our guys and make sure they're doing the right things, and we have them taught the right things, and call the right things, and being the right things, all that good stuff. But to go put 3 drives after you've struggled all day, there's an urgency there that you got to understand. Now, I'll take that urgency at the beginning of the game. I think it'd help out a little better and get started a little faster, and that's part of the things we have to look at too, and understanding how to do that. But we put together a 13-play drive and go all the way down and lose the ball on the half-yard line, going in the end zone. Instead of putting our head down, come back and make an 11-play, 77-yard drive and win the game. I mean, there's still a lot of perseverance in that. And for a quarterback to be able to do that after having a tough day, struggling the things he did, and we made some we weren't making contested throws, all of a sudden we did. Started making contested catches, all of a sudden we did. Started breaking tackles, all of a sudden we did. Making blocks, all of a sudden we did. Finding ways to get it done. And there's something to be said about that. Learning how to win and keeping understanding how to win and having an urgency to do that. But then at the same time, we got to get those things fixed, and we'll address that in a minute, as I said. Special teams, I thought Nick was outstanding. I think he averaged 49 yards a punt. I think the field position was outstanding. Unfortunately, we missed 1 field goal. I think I thought was in Seth's range, very comfortable there. I wish he'd have made it, but he hit the other field goal. Thought we covered. Kickoffs were great. Caden was outstanding in that regard. And punt return, we had one about 12. The rest of them averaged about 8. And we're just about 1 block away, or 1 guy. We got to get a couple little things cleared up, and we have a chance, I think, to really make some yards there and get an eye to the ball. Hopefully we can get that cleaned up just a little bit. It wasn't disastrous by any means. It was solid, but we can be better at that area than where we're at. Then the kickoff return, we got 1 block, got pushed and squeezed up the timing, had a chance to pop it out there. And many times if we want to return, we're going to try and give a chain a chance, man. You got to try to give that guy some chances to do it. And usually on kickoff returns it happens. They bust, or they're usually 1 block away, and that's the way kickoff returns usually are. and we were close on those. So getting better in that area, but we got to get better as a football team. Offensively, we got to be more technical, got to stay more physical, got to get back to getting running the football, and not have the just one guy here, one guy there. I'm telling you, it is so close, but at the same time, that can be so far away, and that's not coach talk. You look at the film and you can see it, but that's the difference of being able to do it each and every play and not doing it every play. Putting yourself behind the 8 ball, not staying ahead of the chains, which we didn't do a good job of, and and playing. We got to throw it better, got to protect it a little better at some times, and just play better football. But defensively, I thought we were outstanding. Need to start that way, need to finish that way. Defense, is we knew going into the year was the strength of our team. Getting guys back, getting guys healthy now, that has to be there, and I still think we have a very, very good offense. Now, saying that with Haynes, as you know, I guess it's already out, but I wanted to wait till I got the final thing to make sure I give you all the right call. He had a crack in his lower leg that they fixed and operated on, went clean as a whistle, went really good, was as good as it could humanly be as far as the prognosis of things. Now, timeline, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not going to say when you heal, you heal. When you're healed, you're healed. We would never play him before in any way, shape, or form before that. And 2, I feel like we still got a great quarterback in Zach Calzada, and feel very comfortable with him doing things after, especially watching him, the character he grew up with in that football game, and come back and make the plays he had to make at the end of that game for us a chance to win it. We're very proud of him and the guys around him that played. I thought offensively, also, I thought Spiller was outstanding in the game. I thought he blocked well. I thought he played well. He ran well. Made 6 catches in the game. The big third, even before the third down touchdown. The third down he caught, how he set around out to read route. We give him some options and things to do, and he sat down and made plays. And I'm going to tell you what else. His leadership in the game. His leadership on the sideline. His leadership just in his whole demeanor and how he's affecting guys was outstanding in the game. I was extremely proud of Isaiah Spiller and the way he played. Then he made the big play to win the game. That allowed that play to happen. So, he just came a long way. And whether he's blocking, running, we got to keep getting touches, but we got it to him in space and in the passing game. That's 6 more catches, and he's really evolved in that part of his game too. And I thought Chain had a solid game. I thought Chain played really well, had some nice runs in the game, had a nice catch down the seam, caught the ball, ran the ball. We'll continue to get those guys touches in different ways as much as we possibly can. So, and we got to get better in all the other aspects, and tight end, receiver, quarterback, the line, we got to keep getting better there. But we will, and we definitely got the guys could do it. I've seen them do it. We just got to coach them better. All right, questions?
Brent, and then Olin.
What does backup quarterback look like now, and does Stowers move
Well,
back over?
Stowers has always been taking reps, but he always has had familiarity. And Blake Bose will be in there too. Who really had multiple scholarship offers. One of the reasons I was able to, I felt very good about moving Eli when we did, was because of how Blake came in, his abilities to throw the ball, run the ball. He had multiple Division I quarterback offers at really good schools. Now, none of them were like SEC type schools, but at the same time, I think the guy is a really good player, and I feel very comfortable with him there and what he was doing in camp and the things he did, and was one of the reasons we were able to make that move. So he'll be in there also.
You bet. And so now, and also the importance of Zach getting those first team reps during camp, and also does the game plan change? Moving forward?
You'll feature things he does, but we won't change a lot. Listen, Zach, as you saw, people say, well, Haynes can run and Haynes can't throw. Well, last third you saw him slinging the ball down the field everywhere, and Zach can throw and he can't run. Well, he made a heck of a run to get to the 1 yard line. He made a guy miss. He made a 20-yard run. He made a scramble on a big first down. He kept plays alive. Had a 12-yard scramble for a first down in the game. So we'll still stay very similar. There may be there may be combinations of a couple things. One guy, which we always do. One guy likes this play a little better than he likes that play, but the still concept of what we do and how we do things will stay relative to exactly what we are.
We'll go Olin and then Christie on the left.
Jimbo, how did Layden Robinson play, and how did he grade out? And also,
he's actually our lineman of the week.
Okay, and he was also, but it looked like he was really laboring, that his leg.
He was banged up on a lower thing. Yeah,
status?
he should be. And we'll give him a little bit of rest here, but he had really good prognosis afterwards and very minimal swelling or anything that went on. Just typical. That was a physical football game. When you get banged up and bruised up, and he should be good to go. But he was actually our lineman of the week. He had an outstanding game. And speaking of that, congratulations, Jaden Peavy, who was the SEC lineman of the week, who was our lineman of the week. Antonio Johnson was one of our players of the week, and Spiller for us on offense was.
And I wanted to put this out there. Does this team become even more dependent on its defense now moving forward?
No, I don't think it. It always should be the same amount of dependence. It should be dependence there, and the offense go make its plays and do the things it did. You be careful after making one-game judgments. You better be careful. Last year, after the Alabama and Florida game, would you thought we'd had number one defense in the league? Huh? give up 52 and 41 and turn around and play great football the rest of the year. So, I mean, offensively, because you have one bad day doesn't mean you can't go have a great season. And we had 41 the first game and still moved. We had 600 yards of offense. So we still feel that we can be great on both sides of the ball and do the things we got to do. But our defense, our leadership, no doubt. I mean, that's where our experience is and the things that go on. But at the same time, I mean, they got to keep doing what they're doing, and offense will continue to grow and get better.
To the left, Christy, and then Travis.
To go back to the defense for a minute, what do you like best about how they play? It seems like I know you say it's a small sample size, but they really have been dominant so far. But of all the things they're doing, what?
Well, I think the second half they were dominant. I think this, and I don't mean this in any disrespect. The first half, we really cleaned some things up in the first game in our pass rush, we allowed some leakage yards, as I call it. Not we're a real good yard with undisciplined yards. You know what I'm saying? And we do that. We play with discipline and we play with intensity and my purpose and understand the urgency. I think we're a really, really good defensive football team. And I think they did that. I think they realized the game had to turn up. And I think maybe this was a good wake-up call as far as even for them about how, you pick and choose. And I say, well, why do kids ever do it? Well, they have since I've been coaching, and they will when I quit coaching 40 years from now. It's just the way teams are. They try to pick and choose. Well, I can take a break. You know what I mean? It's not take a break, but I don't have to be that intense. Well, I think they need to be, and I think it sets a tone for our team, and our offense needs to be. Just like when it had a time last year when it was like just in the bowl game. I was using those two games that bowl game. Our offense cranked it up, and when they had to crank it up at the end of those games, and we're dominant. But we got to learn to We got to learn to start that way and be that way, and we got to learn to practice that way. But the defense can be a very, very good unit, in my opinion.
Down front,
And
Travis.
we continue to get guys back too.
And then to the left, Zach.
I'll say that McKinley will be back this week too. Finley Jackson.
Two quick questions. First, when you going back to the quarterback battle, you said that was neck and neck all the way through, and Haynes edged out. How can you describe it, or what was that kind of neck and neck? What made it neck and neck?
They kept raising each other's star. Game. In other words, one would play well one day, the next one would play just as well. He'd match him, and he'd match him. It was just they kept matching each other and playing well, and what we did, and the knowledge of what we did, be able to make plays, operate the offense, do the things they need to do. And like I say, the other day, you go back, that's the first real, actual, true game time that Jack has had. And that's, you got put in the fire pretty good right there real quick, out of the blue when you didn't think it, and they were ready for us. They'd schemed us all year, and I think did a 25-game breakdown on us. They had worked on us and did good, which is what will make us better.
And then, Zach, what did you see in his demeanor and his play after that fumble moving forward to the game?
The confidence in his sideline was good. He could come off and tell me what was going on, and he would realize, and then he realized a couple throws he had, and I showed it to him. We talked to him, he said, yeah, I did. I probably got flashed through that look. And sometimes you go too fast because you're trying to get through progressions, and you just got to be quick, but don't hurry. Just slow it down. And then I think the more he played, the more it slowed down, the more he saw it, the more plays he was able to make. And then, like, for instance, the last play of the game was a third read on the play. That was a third read on the play, get to a third progression, which is a pretty big play.
To the left, Zach, and then David on the right.
Jimbo, what was Colorado doing so well defensively that limited the run game for you guys?
Physical. Got in gaps, played physical, fit to run. We had pulls and sometimes knocked us on our can. At times we're more physical than us, closed gaps. And we missed a cut every now and then, and we would just be on a block and hold it and then just fall off at the end when we were just inches from pulling through. As I say, you got to fight for those inches. You got to strain to get that back, that extra half a step through the hole that allows him to break it and not get tackled for a 4-yard gain. And it gets that simple. Our strain to their strain, our hat to their hat, our technique to their technique, and learning to be and staying physical and more physical. And they did some nice things scheme-wise, but our guys put hats on hats. For the most part, occasionally we'd have a missed assignment or a call, and just a miscommunication up front with young linemen that's going to happen. But we just got to strain more, and we didn't find that in. We couldn't get that extra half a step. There's about 3 runs in there, man. They're just about a half a step. And then one time we actually should have been come on the outside. Our lead blocker on the one back should have been outside. He got out there. I thought we had a big one, but you just got to clean those details up.
And you never want a situation where your starting quarterback goes down, but the fact that it's before SEC play, you still have a game before Arkansas. Is there some benefit to that?
Well, I don't think there's ever a benefit, but but you do. It's good to have 2 good ones. As far as this, it's not because of lack of. You always want 2 great guys, and we do. But hopefully we got to play. Listen, New Mexico's 2-0. They won 4 in a row, and they are a pain in the tail, guys. I keep saying it. They twist, blunt, stunt up front for your linemen and quarterbacks and blitz packages as much as anybody we will play anywhere. What they do is very multiple and very It's a very diverse package in what they do, and they're very good at it. Speaking of that, going into our game, I mean, they're 2-0 offensively. You go look at them. The quarterback was a guy who played at Kentucky a couple years ago when we played down there my first year. Athletic. He threw for 300 and some yards last week. Can run. He's athletic as heck. I mean, can run. We slip up 1 second. He's around the corner. The back's a good player. They got a receiver and a returner. Got a returner that's averaging almost 40-some yards a return. Punt returns, kickoff return, punts and kickoffs. They're all over the place. Motions. I mean, you got to be really disciplined. You got to be honed in to the different types of runs, options, screens, throws. I mean, they're all over the place defensively, and the multiplicity of things they do on defense is good is as much as anybody we will see, maybe times 2, in what they do, their packages. So it's going to be a very mental game and having to play. So, Mexico is going to be a very good opponent, and we're going to have to play very well.
Go David and then Chuck.
Jimbo, knowing what Zach went through last week, what will this week of practice do for him? Mindset, knowing that he's the guy going into the game.
Well, hopefully, I mean, they always say the hardest thing to do, and it's that position, be the backup quarterback. Backup safety, backup corner, backup DB, backup lineman. You get to play usually somewhere. Backup quarterback, you always don't. And, hopefully the mindset and the urgency of understanding how to prepare, which he did prepare well. But, you still don't know until that happens. And you know what you're going into. Hopefully you'll know exactly. There may be plays tweaked that you like better a little bit more than what Haynes did because he was a starter based off, there wasn't a big difference in them, but certain things one likes better than the other, things of that nature. So, I think the game of preparation, the ability to practice this week and know you're going in, I think we have a great mindset.
To the left, Chuck, and then we'll go back to the lights.
In a similar vein, but closing the game out like he did, bouncing back, having the getting that win as well after the struggles early. What can that mean to a young quarterback?
Well, it means I can't. No matter what here's what you got to realize. Some guys, even if you say he goes in there and he plays great, he goes in there and we go up and down the field and we play a great game and here it goes. What do you ever do? He knows one thing. Things ain't going well. We're not moving the ball. Offensively, we're struggling as much as any team struggled we've had. And all of a sudden, we can turn around and I can lead a team down the field to go win. And I can do it not only once, I can do it twice and do it, and we didn't get the outcome we wanted because of a mistake I made. But I had the perseverance in myself, the confidence in myself, the character in myself to be able to line up and take my team and lead my team and look them in the eye in the huddle and take my team back down the field and have a game-winning drive and a game-winning throw on 3rd down. You can say it all you want. Guys that have had all success, you don't ever know what a guy faces until he faces adversity. He faces as much adversity in that game as anybody I've been around in a long time. And the way he stood up, made plays, and did the things he did, hopefully that will give him the confidence to understand what kind of player he can be, which I've always thought he can be, and I think he thinks he can be. But till you go do it, there's always, there's not doubt, but you always have, till a guy does it, that's just part of it. And he has done it, and very proud of him. Now hopefully we can start one and play real well.
Coach, we'll go back behind the lights, Mike, and then Tyler.
Coach, throughout your tenure here, you guys have found ways to win close games, even if they haven't been the prettiest. So
Yep.
What does that say about this team and the foundation?
Well,
you guys
hopefully
built?
the culture that we're trying to build. My dad always told me that when I was a kid. He always says, and funny, one of our coaches ever said his dad said the same thing, but my dad always said, always be at the end of the game, and I remember this as a kid sometimes, and watching certain teams in college you didn't like, and my dad always, and I think he would take whoever I didn't like and pick them just on purpose. Especially if it was a good team or somebody just to create the competition within the house. The competition in our house was extraordinary, trust me. And I was never given anything. When I was 3 years old, if there was a pool, he beat me to death and laughed at it. You had to earn your wins. But my point on it was, and I'd be saying, they're going to get him, they're going to get him. He said, now they're going to come back. I said, nah, it ain't going to come back this time. He said, always remember something, Bull. Winners win. He said, there's a certain knack that certain people have a knack to understand how to win and make plays. Now, I would rather us not do that, but I give our kids credit in these situations of understanding how to go make plays when they got to make plays in the worst situation. So hopefully that's something that we are establishing here. I'm not saying that, but we haven't won championships. We haven't done anything yet. I mean, as far as what I'm concerned, what we can do, we're capable of, and I want to do. But at the same time, understanding how to persevere all the different kinds of situations we've done here lately, it's a great thing that they believe that no matter what, that they're going to come out on top. And hopefully the culture of what we're trying to do here is establishing that. Now we got to establish better, play better, all those things, but hopefully that is getting established. And there's something to that too.
Staying behind the lights, Tyler.
Coach, what do you want to see on Saturday against New Mexico that would maybe give you a little bit of ease of mind knowing that this is the last tune-up before SEC play, that you're ready for
It
that?
ain't no tune-up, it's a game. Hey, have you been following all the games across the country in the last 2 weeks? I mean, every game is a game. You better bring your A game, and hopefully we can go bring our A game and learn to start fast and finish stronger and play a complete football game. No matter what the scoreboard says, just go play well and execute and do the things we have to do to be successful, not have self-inflicted wounds, and play the kind of physical brand of football and execute at the high level with our skill guys that we need to play at. And that's what I'm looking for. Taking care of the ball, playing great on all three phases, and going for a complete football game the whole time.
We'll go Cole, Brent, and Olin, you wrap us up.
Coach, you kind of mentioned at the very beginning about Nick and how he was able to punt. When you're able to have deep drives like that, I think there was 3 inside the 20. How does that really help out your defense, especially with field position?
Oh, it's a war to me. It's always the unspoken thing, the field position, the kicking game until it's needed. And it was needed that day, and we were really good at it. He did it. It was a big part of it, and put them on long fields and then give us a little more short fields, and we were able to get back and make some plays. So it was huge, and Nick's going to keep getting better and better. Like I said, I have the utmost respect for him. He's as hard a working young man on our football team.
In front, Brent, and then Olin, you'll wrap us up.
I apologize for not knowing the 1985 Pittsburgh Pirates roster, but I said that Zach throws like Nolan Ryan and needs a little more Bob Nepper here and there. Would that be accurate in terms of developing touch along the way?
Well, he made a great touch throw on that last ball. He made a great touch throw on that last ball. And, he has a strong arm, but I think he's a passer, and he's learning to be a passer. And I think here's when you're a passer, when you're totally start to get comfortable with what's being called and how it's being called, and you're processing the information of the defense. Sometimes what happens with guys, when they're young and they're playing, they got great arms, they wait to see things, or they see things late and then try to rely on that arm. And sometimes they put too much. As you get more knowledge of what you're doing, like you say, the old adage of Roger Staubach. Remember he got the name Roger the Dodger? You know why he said he ran so much when he early? He didn't know what was going on. He couldn't find his second, third reads or third read, so he was athletic. He just started making plays and running around. Well, sometimes a guy with a great arm will do that. He'll get 1 and 2, and can I get to 3? And you'll be late, and all of a sudden you're trying to make up. And as you get more knowledge of what you're doing and more comfortable about how to read the defenses and how the plays fit, you'll start to see, you'll start to see him, which I think he will, going into this game and the different things, being able to pass the football and not just throw the football. And I think that comes with knowledge and experience and comfort level of what you're doing. I think there'll be a part of that too. But it's good in one thing, he can get the ball to all parts of the field.
Olin, you got a good one to wrap us up?
I don't know how good it is, but I don't want to wrap it up. Jimbo, you said that Colorado's physicality on defense was big.
Yeah, big guys. Their front seven was very physical and did a real good job of fitting runs and how they fit them and use their hands. And they were well coached. They were a good football team up front.
Being as a Power 5 team, did that physicality, do you think at all, catch maybe your new offensive lineman by surprise that it was going to be?
That's a good question. I haven't really asked them that. I asked them that today and some things, and that could be part of it. I mean, you think going against the guys we go against each and every day, how physical they are. But, until you get out in the game, but them tell you now, there are some guys that are really big and physical, and we'll ask and see. And hopefully that's a wake-up call. I've been trying to warn them. It's going to keep getting tougher and tougher as it goes, and that's all part of growing. That's part of growing up. Now you know, and hopefully you go play well.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you. He did that.